Hello everybody, it's Megan at Rocky Mountain Sewing and Vacuum here with another Tip Tuesday for you. One question we get a lot here in the store is, how do I do a buttonhole? And honestly, on most basic machines, it's very, very similar. So we figured, why not do a tip about it? It's a pretty fun process, and luckily, that buttonhole foot comes with almost every single machine. And of course, if you have questions or want somebody to guide you through it, that's what we're here for. So most basic machines do the one-step buttonhole pretty similarly. Usually it's a big scary foot like this, and what I like is I can actually open it up and then I can put my button in the back there and close the button onto it. So with that, that measures my button. From there, I can take my presser foot off of my machine, and then if you have a FOF or a machine with dual feed, you want to disengage that. And then the trick is the button is going to go to the back of the machine, and the number or the letter or whatever's on the foot is going to go towards you. So you're going to put it on the machine like that. And there we go. So from there, usually a lot of machines nowadays comes with that fabulous needle threader, but hiding behind it is a little flag that's right there. So I'm going to pull that flag down and make sure it goes in between the two little nubs on my presser foot there. So once I have that all set up, I can tell the machine what buttonhole I want to do. So I'm going to go over here, and on this one, I'm going to do number 17, which is like a keyhole buttonhole. There are different buttonhole shapes for different types of garments. It is up to you on what style or what type of fabric that you're using for the buttonhole. Usually there's lots of different options on machines, so that's really nice. The other thing I always recommend doing is stabilizing where your buttonhole is going to be, either with a piece of scrap stabilizer from your embroidery machine or by having interfacing, like if you're doing a placket shirt or something like that. It is a great place to do that. So for example, I'm just going to fold that into 2 layers of fabric and put my fabric under the foot. Now most of us are trained to start with the fabric here. For a buttonhole, you actually want to give it more than you think, because most of them sew backwards. So usually if I mark here so that I know that it's going to sew backwards. Or if I'm doing a shirt, I go like this, where the edge is towards the front and the rest of the shirt is to the back. So when I'm ready, I've got it all under there. I put my presser foot down. And a tip that I like is, if I have a machine that has a stop-start button and a foot control, what I do is I use my start-stop button. So if you have a machine where you have to unplug the foot control to use that, I usually do just for this, because I will often stop it before it's done with the buttonhole, and then it's not as pretty as you want it to be. So I'm going to go ahead and tell this guy to do its thing, and I can speed it up. And when it's done, I'll have a beautiful buttonhole, and all I had to do was put a presser foot on. It's almost done. And on this machine, it will slow down and do the tie-off for me. I can raise my presser foot up. You saw it zoom right back. Cut my threads. And look at that. I have a beautiful buttonhole, no sweat. I hope this helps you learn how to do a buttonhole on your machine. And as I said earlier, if you have questions, you can always call us or bring your machine into the store, and we're happy to show you. Thank you for joining me on this Tip Tuesday, and we will see you next week.